Hi, everybody. My name is Chase Floyd, and this is my positionality reflection statement for ISCI 705 Research, Design, and Evaluation. My research proposal is focusing on digital resources in children's libraries and their effect on literacy development in emerging readers. For the purpose of this study, I am focusing on ages birth to 5 years old because they have not yet fully developed the ability to read and they are still heavily dependent on early literacy strategies, which are talk, sing, read, write, play, and every child ready to read standards, which are print motivation, phonological awareness, vocabulary, narrative skills, and print awareness. My research questions are: what effect do multimedia and digital resources in children's libraries have on literacy and development in young readers? And what can children's libraries do to ensure technology in the library is advancing literacy and development in young children? To begin with my demographics, I identify as a white cisgender woman in a heterosexual relationship. I am 25 years old, I only speak English, and I am a working class individual. I was born and raised in a rural town in Texas, and I have lived in Charleston, South Carolina for the last 4 years. I have a bachelor's in English and sociology, and I am in my final semester of the Library and Information Science Master's program at the University of South Carolina. I have worked with children in some capacity for the last 8 years, including childcare, after school programs, teaching, and library settings. These factors have certain influences on my research approach. I've always been passionate about early childhood literacy, which is why I chose this topic for my research. I recognize that as a digital native, I might have biases that people born before the technology surge do not have. I also acknowledge my lack of experience with immigrant, homeless, and poverty stricken populations, but I do have experience with both rural and urban classroom settings. I'm also aware that my limited participant pool will have an effect on my results. For me, it is imperative that I am not appropriating the voices of others in my research. To combat ethical concerns of having child participants, in my research, I will provide a notice of consent to both the caregivers and the children before performing any part of the research. I also recognize that my hypothesis might be proven wrong, and I am prepared to analyze the results in an objective manner, no matter the outcome. Research has been limited to 3 months to avoid any permanent effects on a participant's development, and I also hope that in performing this research, all children will be positively affected by the resulting implementation of strategies that support every child ready to read standards. I understand that if participants feel domineered in any way, then the results of my research may not be accurate. And I do think it's possible to avoid that. I believe it is important to be transparent with children and their caregivers the entire time the research is being performed and allow them to rescind their participation agreement at any time. I want them to feel like they are part of the research and that they have their own autonomy the entire time. As the facilitator of toddler storytime at my local library, I hope to build relationships with my patrons so that they trust me and are comfortable with me before the study takes place. This research will hopefully give the participants benefits by increasing their early literacy, cognitive, physical, and social emotional development skills. Researchers, educators, librarians, and caregivers can use this information to employ best practices while teaching and interacting with children. Literacy has countless benefits, such as academic, social confidence, increased employment opportunities, independence, and overall enrichment of life experiences. As technology continues to advance, it is important that the next generation knows what they are dealing with. But it's also important that they have other areas of literacy development as well. That is why I believe optimal use is imperative to the future of childhood literacy. Thank you for listening.